Halliburton falls down. He looks hurt. Halliburton's hurt right away when he fell. And Tatum is hurt. Tatum is down. 42 points for Tatum tonight, but right now in a great deal of pain.
And Lillard goes down with an injury. He's grabbing.
These images of our favorite NBA players are burned into our memory. They're overrun with distraught as they lay on the ground in a complete state of helplessness, a sight extremely common after an Achilles rupture. There were 7 such ruptures last season alone, a roughly 450% increase from the average. The recovery journey for this injury is rigorous, and many players struggle to retain form after returning. The sudden increase in them has alarmed some and raised many to question why this freak injury is becoming more common, and question as to what measures they can take to protect and prevent themselves from suffering a similar fate. It's important to understand the significance of the Achilles tendon, the thickest tendon in the human body. This tendon connects the heel bone to the calf muscle, supporting us as we walk, run, and jump. But as more and more stress is put onto the tendon, this large responsibility leaves it susceptible to greater injury, especially in professional athletes.
The fibers of those muscles that create the Achilles tendon literally wrap and twist around each other like a mop wringing out. Now this gives it insane power, but it also makes it prone to injury, especially in its middle area where the blood flow is poorest. Now tears often occur here because of repeated micro damage from those fibers twisting and grinding on each other without any time to recover. Now if that weren't enough, most other tendons have sheaths or wrappings around them that lubricate them, allow them to glide really easily. But you guessed it, the Achilles tendon doesn't have one.
If suffered, the recovery process is a challenging path, as not only does it take athletes roughly 9 to 12 months to return to play, their ability usually takes a hit. If we look at the example of 5-time NBA champion Kobe Bryant, who had an illustrious career before his Achilles rupture, averaging 25.5 points in just over 1,200 games played, he was definitely not the same player he once was after his return, seeing a significant decrease in his stats and only playing in about 47% of his team's games before he retired. Bryant's recovery journey was most likely a great struggle for him, and the fact that he returned back to any sort of form to play again is remarkable. To find out what struggles come with this injury and the recovery process, I spoke with Miguel Gutierrez Jr., a Division II basketball player at Erskine College who ruptured his Achilles earlier in his collegiate career.
I literally took a step, and I heard the pop. I thought nobody's in the gym, but I thought like someone let off a gunshot.
Gutierrez went on to explain what kinds of thoughts were racing through his head the moment after the injury as he sat on the floor of the empty gym.
I'm really thinking about like my whole like basketball, like where it got me till now, and it kind of just all came back to me like once I was a child, like playing from a child till college. I was like, it's really over with because this is an injury that is really hard to come back from. So I really thought like I was done.
The mental anguish didn't end after that first moment, as there were many more hurdles for him to overcome as he started his recovery journey.
It was a struggle. It was definitely a struggle. There was nights when I would like just be so depressed and be like, is basketball even really worth it anymore? Because I can't walk. I have to rely on everybody for everything. So throughout that process of not being able to walk or do anything really took a toll on me.
And a toll it did take. Gutierrez spoke on how difficult the rehab process was, noting the plethora of equipment and hard work needed to try and get back to form.
So starting off, I wasn't really able to do much. I was in a splint for 2 weeks and then got that off, was in a cast for about 3 months, and then was in a boot. And then right after that, that's when I could actually start doing actual rehab. So basic, trying to get my mind and muscle connection, ABCs with my foot, toe yoga, trying to get my toes activated again. I was just, I had no mind over there because it was just dead weight for so long.
Gutierrez was thankfully able to make a complete recovery. However, there were still more obstacles to clear as he began playing again.
And my first time back running full speed, doing everything, I felt slow. Felt like I had no power. I didn't have nothing going for me. And I just felt like a lack of confidence mentally. And I knew I had to get back to the drawing board. I basically told myself I have to like get back to square one. Because it was hurtful. Like it hurt my ego because I was like, I used to do things and now really a step behind other people.
Through all the pain and suffering, Gutierrez was able to make light of the situation he was in. He told me how the injury made him figure out a potential career path after college.
It helped me really discover what I want to do when I grow up. Playing professional basketball is always a dream, still a dream. But being a sports psychologist, so those who are in need who are going through mental health issues or surgical injuries that have mental blocks, it really opened up to, like, if I did it and I'm successful at it, what makes me think I can't help other people?
At the end of our interview, I asked Gutierrez why he thought this injury happened. Was he overworked? Did he not stretch enough? Was he dehydrated? What did he think the main cause of this injury was?
Mine just happened because I took a step, like a freak accident.
If it wasn't for being overworked, or a lack of stretching, or even dehydration, then what could it have possibly been? The negative step is a move used by athletes where rather than launching forward off their current position, they step backwards to create an explosive burst of speed. Many people associate this move with Achilles ruptures, thinking that this move is the sole reason why the injury happens. You can see when Halliburton was injured, he steps backwards, his Achilles pops. If we look back to when Kevin Durant tore his Achilles, we see the same motion, the step backwards to launch forward, and his Achilles is gone. To investigate further, I needed to speak with an expert. I spoke with Division II basketball player Vance Pfeiffer. He runs a TikTok account in which he makes videos to his over 8,000 followers, analyzing the movement patterns of professional athletes. He highlights injury-prone habits or tendencies using his knowledge of a new type of physical training called GOTA.
Yeah, our main belief with GOTA is that humans are front dominant, are forward-moving creatures. So we move forward, we're not lifting backward, we're not kind of in this front chain dominant aspect like we do in Olympic lifts and in a lot of weight training, where we're back chain dominant, butt stays back, head stays forward. The inside ankle bone is high, meaning the arch is uncollapsed through moving. And basically there's a right way to move. And these chairs, these shoes, these Olympic lifts, these conventional lifts are ruining this pattern.
GOTA's main goal is to attain complete physical and energetic balance, allowing for fluid and efficient movement and also limiting the risk for injury. GOTA bases itself on its 7 core laws, and each one of them defines and sets boundaries for each part of the movement chain in an attempt to establish total bodily control. I asked Pfeiffer, is the negative step itself the reason for the recent uptick, or are there other underlying factors that are coming into play?
This arch would be going in, so this inside edge pressure, while the heel is moving backward and you're moving forward. So that quick heel drop as you're moving forward, that's what's causing the injury. And I think the shoes and the conventional lifting with the heel down is really making our nervous system kind of comfortable with that heel down. So then when you get to like a high pressure scenario and you're reacting quick, your body's gonna want to put that heel down, and then that's what causes the shred.
These poor habits develop in the very basics of our everyday life. The way we walk, stand, or sit subconsciously creates these rhythms in our bodies. The more you walk landing on your heels first, the more likely you are, especially in a fast-paced sport, to let your heel drop to the floor on your negative step. It's because your body is so used to it. Aside from major injuries, poor movement patterns can also have other adverse effects.
So it can lead to mostly pain and minor injuries to start, but then some of the times you'll see with these elite athletes that are really explosive, it'll lead to more ACL tears, Achilles tears.
We've learned that the negative step is not solely the culprit for Achilles ruptures. It's the matter that it's performed in, which is decided by our everyday movements and the way we train. Achilles ruptures are career-shattering. They end people's dreams and can derail someone's entire life. It's inconclusive if this dramatic increase in frequency will remain the standard, but one thing is for certain. As the pace of play in professional sports only increases, if athletes continue to move in these dangerous ways, Achilles ruptures will become more common. We must be proactive, not reactive, when it comes to moving our bodies the right way. If we aren't, we'll ruin them.